Hi to all. In this video, we are going to see about Swinburne test of DC shunt machine. Okay, for a DC shunt motor, change of speed from no load to full loads is quite small because normally the DC shunt motors are called constant speed motors, and the variation to no load to full load in the range of 1 to 5%. So even the load will be present, the speed will not be vary that much. That's why this type of motors, DC motors, are called constant speed motors. Let's see Swinburne test. Okay, for a DC shunt motor, change of speed from no load to full load is quite small. Therefore, mechanical loss can be assumed to remain same from the no load to full load. Okay, mechanical losses in the sense frictional loss and windage losses. Okay. Also, if field current is held constant during loading, the copper loss mm, too can be assumed as remain same. Okay. So if field current we are fixing as a particular value, then the copper loss also um, in constant. Okay, remain same. In this test, the motor is run at a rated speed under normal condition at rated voltage. The current drawn from the supply, okay, IL naught, and the field current IF are recorded. Now we can note that, okay, uh, this is things, since the motor is operating under normal condition, um, net mechanical output power is 0. We are not giving any load to the motor, that is called no load condition. Then the mechanical output power is 0. Hence the gross power developed by armature must supply the core loss and friction and windage losses of the motor. Therefore, P core plus P friction is equal to V minus Ia naught Ra multiplied with Ia naught. So we'll get Eb naught Ia naught, since both P core and P friction for a shunt motor remains practically constant from no load to full load. The sum of these losses is calculated constant rotational loss. That is constant rotational loss P rotate is equal to P core plus P friction. If the Swinburne test, the constant rotational loss comprising of core and friction losses is estimated from the above equation. Okay. After knowing the value of P rotation from the Swinburne test, we can fairly estimate the efficiency of the motor at any load condition. Let the motor be loaded such that new current drawn from the supply is IL and the new armature current is IA, shown figure. To estimate the efficiency of the loaded motor, we can proceed as follows. Input power to the motor P in is equal to VIL. Okay, VIL. Copper loss in the field current PFL is equal to VIF. Power input to the armature VIL minus VIF. So here V is common, we can take out of V. So V into IL minus IF. IL is nothing but line current and IF is the field current. So V IA will get copper loss in the armature circuit Ia square Ra. So gross developed power by armature VIA minus Ia square Ra. So V minus Ia Ra multiplied with Ia will get Eb into Ia. Net mechanical output for P net mech is equal to Eb A minus P rotational. Efficiency of the load motor efficiency is equal to output by input. Eb Ia is the output and VIA is the input. VIL is the input. So P net make divided by P in. P net make is this one, and P in this one. Okay. The estimated value of P net, P rotation obtained from Swinburne test can also be used to estimate the efficiency of the shunt machine operating as a generator. Figure 4.0 40.0 is shown to deliver the load current IL to a load resistor RL. In this case, output power being known, it is easier to add losses to estimate the input mechanical power. Okay, so output power of the generator P out is equal to V into IL. Copper loss in the field current PFL is equal to V into IF. Output power of the armature VIL plus VIF. In the case of motor, output power output VIL minus VIF. In the case of generator, okay, output power of VIL plus VIF, that is equal to VIA. Mechanical input for P in mech is equal to VIA plus IA square RA plus P rotation. So efficiency of the generator, efficiency is equal to VIL divided by P in mech. So VIL by VIA, IA square RA plus rotation. But here efficiency is equal to P net EB IA minus P rotational by VIL. But in the case of generator, it VIL divided by VIA plus IA square RA plus P rotational. Okay. The biggest advantage of Swinburne test is that the shunt machine is to be run as motor under no load condition, requiring little power to draw from the supply. Based on the no load readings, the efficiency can be determined. Okay, Swinburne test, no load test. Okay, can be determined for any load currents. However, this test is not sufficient if we want to know more about its performance, effect of armature reactions, temperature rise. These things will not be considered when you go for Swinburne test. Okay, when it is actual loaded, when it is actually loaded, obviously the solutions is to be load the machine by connecting mechanical load directly on the shaft for motors, or by connecting loading rheostat across the terminal for generator operation. This, although sounds simple but difficult to implement in the laboratories for high rating machines, and these things you can use for small rating machines. Say about 20 kilowatt machines, we can't go for this one. Thus, the laboratory must have the proper supply to deliver such a large power corresponding to the rating of the machines. Second, one should have loads to absorb this power. Thank you.